My name is Jessica Meininger, and this is an evaluation of a famous speech. A calling for America's awareness. Imagine a time when a killer was ignored. A time when a killer was swept under the rug. A time when people ignorantly thought that they were safe from this killer because of false stereotypes. This killer was attacking a whole nation simultaneously in the 80s and 90s. This relentless killer was known as AIDS, and it was turning into a terrifying epidemic. In 1992, a victim stood up to shed light on the stigma, the stereotypes, and the hard cold facts. Mary Fisher's speech was pivotal and endearing. It shocked people mainly because Mary Fisher was a white, wealthy, married Republican mother infected with HIV. Fisher's speech brought awareness where awareness was not welcomed. With her speech, A Whisper of AIDS, she tore down barriers and enlightened a new demographic of people. At the Republican convention, this speech would go down in history as one of the most memorable speeches of the 20th century. This particular speech caught America's attention because she chose to speak to a conservative party that neither supported the cause nor cared to know more. Although she may have been speaking to an audience that was not receptive at first, I feel that she really wrangled in listeners into her movement. She drew them in with startling statistics. In The Art of Public Speaking by Stephen E. Lucas, he refers to the effects of rattling your audience in the introduction. Lucas states that this is a surefire way to arouse interest and startle your listeners. Fisher's speech directly asks the audience for support, for them to hear a different side of the story. Her target audience, being Republicans, had set their opinions on the hot button topic, so it was imperative to find new techniques to draw the crowd in. Since this was a somber topic, playing on raw emotions would be very effective in capturing the audience. This allows the orator to touch people on different levels, ensuring that they will take something away from the speech. Mary Fisher put herself on an emotional level. She related herself to other people who were infected that others might snub. She put herself in a vulnerable position with her story, thus making people more susceptible to hearing her out. In an article written by David Rear on memorable speeches, he states that people will forget the words, they will forget the grammatical mistakes, but they will remember the authenticity and the passion. Fisher's speech was pounding with passion and emotion. This method will strike a heart chord in any audience. Incorporating her family into the speech sends the message that she is just like the general public, relating her lifestyle to her audience. In her speech, she asked the audience, "Are you human?" Lucas mentions that this adds dramatic effects and impacts the audience. Of course, they will mentally answer. This is key, getting the topic jogging through their minds, letting it sink in with a pause. Rhetorical questions are a great way to subject listeners to your point. In sharing her Gripper story and portraying herself as an infected person, she gave herself and the speech credibility. It was clear that Mary was authentic and genuine with words. This ensured the attention of the audience, even though they may have been opposed to the issue. She had at least grounds to speak of it. It's no question that Mary Fisher's speech changed a nation, not just the audience that she chose that night. She was poised, prepared, and well-spoken, and she spoke from the heart. In her conclusion, she again asked for the support of the awareness of her fellow people, bringing the audience back to the facts. She wraps up her speech with her title, "So my children will not be afraid to say the word AIDS when I'm gone. Then their children and yours may not have to whisper it at all." This technique sums up Fisher's essential point while evoking strong emotions towards the subject, not just herself. I personally can say that this speech affected me emotionally and opened up my frame of mind on the subject. I was compelled by her story. I was curious to know more. I believe that my interest was attributed to her riveting and concise technique.